Hey guys, happy Monday. It's the day after our preseason friendly match against Newcastle United, which we came out 3-2 winners in. It was a much more competitive, bitey sort of match to the AC Milan one, which was to be expected, given that Newcastle seemed to know how to get under our skin pretty well. And I thought I'd just kind of kick off by going through some of the performances that stood out to me from the night, whether that be for negative or positive reasons. Starting with Raya, I thought Raya looked a bit sloppy, if I'm honest. There was a moment in that first half where a ball came over the top and he came rushing out, and he had the option to either control it, distribute it, or control it and just pop it over to Saliba. And instead, he just kind of stuck his right leg out and it ended up going out for a throw-in, which was a bit of a clumsy piece of play from him. And the second goal, in my opinion, look, I know there are a lot of bodies around Murphy when the shot came off, but yeah, I think Raya should be saving that. So yeah, just a bit of not his best performance. And look, I know it's preseason, so just bear with me. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here. Calafiori, I want Calafiori to be the player that I think he can be so badly. I love everything about him. I'm just a little bit concerned about his defensive qualities as it stands. I think going forward, he looks really confident and capable of some really exciting stuff. I just think defensively, he seems to get caught out quite a lot. He seems to just, I don't know whether that's through positioning or not reading the play well enough, or maybe it comes down to a speed thing, but there just seems to be a few occasions where players are getting in and behind him too easily, for my opinion. You know, the likes of Gabriel and Saliba seem to cut off the danger before it even happens, whereas I think Calafiori, he finds himself kind of behind and chasing before he's even kind of realized. So yeah, I think that's something to watch out for. He obviously went off with a potential injury, which is a concern because, you know, his injury record last season was terrible. So I'm hoping for his sake that there's nothing too serious there. Lewis Skelly, look, Lewis Skelly broke the season Lewis Skelly had last year was just incredible. Without question, what he achieved in that kind of 6-month window between what he did for Arsenal and stepping into the England fold, scoring on his debut, unbelievable. And again, I'm being really critical here, but I have just felt in the two appearances he's made against Milan and Newcastle, not to his level. I think he's still kind of finding his feet come the break, and I'm hoping that against Tottenham, because I know how much he understands what that Tottenham game means, whether it's a friendly or not. I think we'll see more of the true Lewis Skelly. But I just thought, by his standards, he was a little bit sloppy in possession, in particular. I thought Zubimendi was excellent. There's a lot of people raving about Zubimendi today, and look, I think he had a really good game. He's clearly a very smart player. He's very good at kind of conducting the play, controlling the rhythm. I think we're going a little bit overboard at the moment from some of the kind of reviews I'm hearing on Zubimendi, but yeah, I think he looks really solid and really capable, and definitely looks like the guy who's going to kind of control Arsenal from the base of that midfield, which is great because, you know, we need someone of that quality to take over from Thomas Partey. I thought, on a really promising note, I thought Odegaard looked way sharper last night. I really loved the way he grabbed the ball, drove with the ball. He wasn't afraid to shoot last night. He just, everything he did had real intent. And I thought that was a much closer version to the Odegaard of 2-3 seasons ago than we've seen in a long time. So I think, you know, between the likes of Nwaneri, Dowman, the rumours of Eze, I think Odegaard is fully aware of how important this season is for him, and I think he's going to have a big one. I do think that. So it was great to see him back to kind of a level that we expect. Trossard does what Trossard does. He was solid, nothing out of the usual. Just an okay performance from Trossard. I still think he's a capable squad player, but I just think between him and Martinelli, we just need more on that left wing. If we're really genuinely trying to win this Premier League over a Liverpool team that is absolutely stacked, we have to be cutthroat from here on out. And I just think that as good as Trossard and Martinelli are, I don't think they're good enough week in, week out to get us to cross the line. Or it's not even that. I think there's better players out there who can do more and offer more week in, week out than Martinelli and Trossard. So it's just where my head's at. Mikel Merino, another player that I really like, but another player I'm massively torn on because he undoubtedly has a knack for scoring goals. He's probably one of the best finishers out of our midfielders. But he just looks, when you look at him in a midfield role where you want kind of that energy box to box, that Declan Rice kind of all over the pitch, he just looks a bit slow and a bit frumpy and just he doesn't seem very mobile. He doesn't seem to be able to get around the field that well. And that concerns me, given that that's essentially what we need of him in that midfield 8 role. He just doesn't seem to have the wheels on him or the movement, the mobility. And obviously, he can't play striker this year because, we've got Gyökeres and Havertz. So I'm not quite sure how we're gonna use Mikel Merino this year, but I definitely think he has something to offer the team. He definitely has an eye for goal, and I think he has a role to play. It's just working out where he falls into the team. Havertz. Look, there were some good moments from Havertz. The little link-up play between him and Merino for the first goal was quality. That was really good. It was Havertz who crossed the ball in for the second goal, the own goal. Really good piece of play there from him. It just, again, it comes down, it's the same. It's a similar thing with Trossard and Martinelli. Is Havertz going to win you a Premier League? And the answer is no. So he'll have no doubt a really big role this season, but for me, he has to be a second option to Gyökeres in that 9 role. That's just how I see it. I think the other player that everyone is talking about, and it would be hard for me to kind of complete this video without raising it myself, is Max Dowman. Yeah, well, what can you say? We thought the first cameo against Milan was good. This second cameo blew that out the water for me. He was given more minutes, and the moment he came on, again, lively, dangerous, forward-thinking, no fear. The way he just glides past players, runs with the ball at speed. He's faster than I realized he was as well. And he's not afraid to have a shot. And, that's the type of player we have been missing for some time now. These players who have that magical ability to get out of a tight space, make a half turn here, break into something, and all of a sudden they're away, they're aggressive, they're sharp, they're fast, and they're trying to create real danger to the opponent, whether that's through a shot or a killer ball. It's really exciting to see. But of course, he's 15. He's 15. And, I guess the problem is we've got Lamine Yamal now in Barcelona doing what he's doing. And so I guess that's rewritten the rule book really as to how young these players can start bringing in, value and affecting games. So yeah, I'm all for it. It's another option. It makes me think that we didn't need to sign Madueke at all now. If you ask me right now, who am I more excited to see this season, Madueke or Dowman? It's Dowman all day for me, which is mental. But, I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Arteta kind of develops this one throughout the course of the beginning of the season. Do we let Dowman run with this and just keep throwing him in, or do we kind of pull him back a little and kind of see where we end up? But yeah, he is without question a hell of a footballer and an incredibly gifted player who hopefully has a really long, successful future at Arsenal. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. Look, we came out winners in the end. I don't think it was a great performance from Arsenal. I still think we look a bit clunky going forward. I could see we were trying to do a few different things, but all in all, I think, again, pre-season is where you kind of find your feet. It was amazing to see Gyökeres come out and kind of wave to the fans. I'm doubtful as to whether he'll be involved against Tottenham. Maybe he might get a kind of 15, 20-minute cameo towards the end, but given that he hasn't really been doing any training in a team environment, hasn't played a game since last season, and he's done quite a bit of travel in the last 48 hours, I'd be surprised if he really plays against Tottenham. But either way, it's just great to see him finally with the squad. And I'll just end it with this. We still need more. I won't shy away from that. I want Eze next. I want us to get some players out that are not going to play a part this season. And I want us to go get Eze. And I'd like more. I would like more. But for now, I'm happy. and things are looking good. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.